looks like so. It looks like this is going to be in two parts now because my storage got too full. I forgot to. I had like 15 videos that I'd forgotten to delete off my phone. So I need to get a professional to film me. Any volunteers? Anyway, so as I was saying, White Boat number two. I forgot what I was saying on the other video, but I'm just going to give a quick synopsis. Goes to search for his brother who he thought was dead. He's not dead. Goes on this mysterious island. It's like Lost meets H.P. Lovecraft. It's got wonderful, fantastic, gorgeous art with beautiful colours by Francisco Francavilla. Great writing by Scott Snyder. An essential read, 10 out of 10. That won't make much sense about. Oh well, here we go. And then speaking of distillery, we have a book by real life couple Brian Azzarello and Stephanie Phillips, and it's their first flip book. So it's two stories what might link up. We'll see. It's got the same linking. It's got the same arts by Daniel Zizoj. He did a series ages ago. I forgot who it was by for Vertigo about a cowboy, a western, and he also did one about a chef set in the future. Very distinctive art style. But it doesn't say who's written what. But I've got a feeling. This one, which is about set in future, about this serial killer. He kills women, collects the trophies when he's killed them, who gets sentenced to multiple life sentences, and he gets sent to this planet, and that's all I will say. But I think this is Stephanie Phillips. It's got her vibe, how it reads, but it was a good read. Artwork is just beautiful. And then we move on to the other story, which I think is by Brian Azzarello. It just got his kind of tropey crime hard-boiled kind of flavour to it. It's about this old guy who's in and out of prison, and I think he must be in his 60s, and he gets caught. Reason of smiling, you'll find out in a minute. He says, right, I'm going to go straight now, and then he reunites with his girlfriend, who's quite a lot younger than him. So it's an older guy, who's dating a woman much younger than him. This is his lady, who is into kickboxing and stuff like that. Who could that be? And she basically tempts him to do one last job. And he said, "But I wanted to spend the rest of my time with you. I've not got much left now. I'm an old man, and you're young." So, right, the reason I'm going, Stephanie Phillips and Brian Azzarello have, what did he call it? I think is it a summer-winter relationship? He's in his 60s, she's in her 30s. And she's into mixed martial arts and all things like that. So, for me, that kind of like took me onto the story a bit, because I know quite a lot about the... just from what I gathered from reading online and stuff. But apart from that, it's a good story. The one thing that did annoy me, when he goes into like this cryogenic freezing for travel, then when he gets defrosted, whatever, revived, they keep on banging you, really playing on this thing of where he can't get his speech back for a bit. It was okay initially, but then it got a bit tiresome. So I do think this story, which I think Stephanie Phillips, is better written than this one, but it's an enjoyable one, and I think I can see how the story's going to merge. But yeah, it's an enjoyable science fiction crime thriller. I give it 7.5 out of 10 because it didn't pull me in fully. Because like I said, I think it's Brian Azzarello's one. Like I said with that, it just felt like, I know to say write what you know, but it don't need to be that blatant. So yeah, 7.5 out of 10, but it's still gorgeous artwork, and I'm sure the second issue I'll enjoy more. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna invest it, and one which I'm gonna do kind of like a deep dive and proper big focus on. But I just want to give it a shout out. It's a 9 out of 10 anyway. This is Battle Action Volume 3. I've missed the other ones. I'm going to get the collections of the other ones because my local comic shop for some reason never got them in. So and I kept forgetting to order them. So I will get the collections. But I thought, right, this was in this time, so I've put it on my pull list. So it's as big as a distillery comic. It's a cardstock cover, £4.99, 30 pages of story. So the first story is by Garth Ennis and Keith Barnes. It's Johnny Red. He's a pilot. He's a British soldier from Liverpool who ended up in Russia, and he joins the aircraft, the Air Force in Russia. So he's basically fighting for the Russian army. And there's a wonderful bit in here which just made me giggle because he loses control of his plane and he's trying to like stop it smoothly, and there's these Germans just on patrol. They don't see him until like the last minute, and he's kind of like going sorry as he's basically butchering them because he's just trying to land as carefully as he can, but he's like just mowing them down. Oh, it's just a great war comic. Garth Ennis knows his war, and this is a great war comic. So it's about a 14-15 page story, and it's going to continue next month. It's going to be 12 issues in total, this is. And then there's a nice little preface here about Kids Rule OK, which was an action story strip from the 70s. So Brian K. Vaughan said, what does it say? He says, he was going on about the British invasion in the 80s and 90s, doing Vertigo and that lot, and he said, but I'd eventually learn that many of my favourite British creators were self-educated dropouts who had also been raised on a steady diet of trashy comics where their trash turned out to be genuine treasure, not the, forgive me, nostalgic fool's gold of most Yankee superhero books. Take Kids Rule OK, the fearless creation of writer Chris Lauder and artist Mike White, who took a potentially cartoonish premise, the strips working titles after the oldies died, and handled it with unflinching realism, no matter what unpleasant corridors their bold concept led them down. I mean, Kids Rule OK, I think, was the strip that made Action Comics get banned. It was leaked in papers that it was sensationalistic violence, inciting children to riots, etc. And so we've got an American writer doing it, and he does the British more so than Gail Simone on the Misty comic. He doesn't try too hard to do an offensive British accent. He just writes it good. But the main protagonist is this brassy American kid. So basically this virus, and he says he's glad he never read Kids Rule OK before he did Y the Last Man, because he said he did... He said it's amazing how much of Y the Last Man is similar in beats to this, because there's this virus that decimates all the adults. And so this brassy American, by the way, artwork is by Chris Burnham, who recently did the Doom Patrol comic, The Unstoppable Doom Patrol. And the artwork is wonderful. And it's 14-page story, and it's perfect. It's just wonderful. It's everything it should be to be a tribute to Action Comics. It's gross. There's quite a lot of violence in it. It's over the top. It's brilliant. I've got to show the last page. I know I shouldn't, but oh, it's brilliant. 10 out of 10. Loved it. Like I said, I'm going to go into this bit more on this, do a single video for it, hopefully. I better forget, but if I might do it this time, or I might wait until I get next month's as well to see who the other ones are, and then maybe do like an overview of two of them, make it a bit more meaty. But yeah, wonderful. If you're in the UK, you can get it from your local comic shop or from 2000AD.com, and if you're in Canada or America, you can get it from 2000AD.com. I highly recommend it. It's a joy to read. So that's it. So there's a few this time which just put me a bit off my stride, because I've had like 3 or 4 weeks of just like solid, really fun comics. But what can you do? I've got to be transparent, and I don't want to unnecessarily slag a comic off. But I think the valid point's what I've said. You like what you like, and you dislike what you dislike. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not about a good comic. It'll be somebody else. It could be somebody else's, I don't know, Mona Lisa. You know. It's just not. They just weren't for me. They weren't what I was looking for in a comic strip. Um, that's why it's a review. It's my personal taste. Doesn't mean my review is correct. It's just my personal taste. But I hope you've enjoyed what you bought this week. Let me know what you bought this week. What's been your standout title this week? And I shall see you soon. I might do another video in a bit looking at the new releases for November. Don't know if I'll do it tonight or I might do it tomorrow or sometime like that. I'll just see because I'm having nose problems tonight. Okay, bye. And I won't say I love you this time. Oh shit. Okay, bye.